Hello and what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we're checking out a brand new knife from Vosteed. This model came out a little while ago, but yours truly has not gotten a chance to check it out. So we're finally checking out here for the first time the Parallel from Vosteed. And they recently just released different models and geometries, as well as some other handle finishes as well. So that's going to be very interesting. Doing the honors here, we got the Hedgehog. And I recently did an unboxing on this one. They are back in stock, including this new green micarta variant right here. It's got the button operated liner lock from Vosteed, multiple deployment options, very well built knife for EDC. So check out that upload if you haven't already. Of course, this knife and every other knife you'll see in this video will be linked in the description and pinned comment. But let's go ahead and get in here the smart way without having to totally destroy the box. There we go. And let's see what we're working with here, shall we? Bam, here we go. We got Vosteed's pouch here, right? Fabric with a nice leather patch in the middle here. We got paperwork, wiping cloth, the usual stuff in the box. But let's see what the Parallel is all about. Ooh, all right, listen. Yeah, this one's going to rival one of Benchmade's model, and we'll get more into that here as we go. But man, oh man. Let's take a closer look at this handle finish right here. It's got the, of course, titanium here with some sort of gold, sort of cracked gold lines going on. That looks so good. Not sure if the camera's doing it justice, but yeah, definitely got those lines right there, kind of like Crackle. I know this one has a specific variant. Future me put that on the screen. We got some oils right here. Obviously, brand new knife out of the box. But of course, the most important thing here with the Parallel, and this is what Vosteed is going for, is how narrow it is, right? Kind of very narrow knife, very easy to carry on your person, not adding additional thickness or width to the knife. You're kind of going for as narrow as you can possibly make a knife. And obviously it's gonna, rival that Benchmade narrows, right? I've featured the Benchmade narrows here in the channel before. I believe I even featured the mini narrows. And of course this one, right, if that aesthetic speaks to you, you're trying to get a very slim knife. Obviously this one's gonna definitely scratch that itch right there, but most certainly at a more affordable price. I can definitely guarantee you that. We got a nice sort of gold, kind of orange gold backspacer going on here. All right, here we go. Titanium everywhere. Titanium handles, obviously. We got a titanium, or is that a titanium? Pocket clip. All right, definitely no pull there, so future me double check. Well, that's good to see that it's going to be a deep carry, reversible pocket clip. And it's also very interesting too is I'm seeing the hardware right here, TA by the way, except this guy, for some reason that guy is T6. Not sure what the deal is there, but these are just holding the cartridge in place. You really wouldn't undo these to disassemble the knife. So you're mainly working with the pivot, TA, and these two screws back here, right? One holding the backspacer in place. The other one is kind of like a standoff tube, if you would. But I'm noticing these screws are long enough, they actually come through the other side. And it's actually done in a very flush way. You almost don't notice unless you pay attention to that. But let's go ahead and get this thing deployed, shall we? Right, we looked at it enough here, right? It's got thumb stud deployment. It is going to be a crossbar lock. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's see what we are working with, ladies and gentlemen. Bam, right there it is. There's the geometry on the Parallel. Now this is one of two geometries. You have this sheep's foot blade. All right, yes, I am going to call it a sheep's foot blade. You can call it a reverse tanto if you like. That's fine by me, whatever rocks your boat. There's also a tanto version available as well. So you got two different geometries to choose from. And also some handle materials as well. But this one here's got the satin finish. Absolutely digging that with a flat grind. S35VN on the steel there. Also loving the thumb studs match the same color as the backspacer. So that's a nice touch there. Absolutely, no doubt about it. And yes, it is a crossbar lock, so very thin kind of crossbar here. And of course the blade itself is also very thin. We'll get some measurements in a moment. Hey guys, really quick, I just posted a video for the 35K subscriber giveaway. I'm giving away 15 different knives, so I'll have a link to that video in the description and pinned comments. Thank you all so much for this amazing growth. 35,000 subscribers is an amazing number. Hopefully we can get to 50K by the end of the year. Check out the video, get entered to win, and best of luck to everybody. But get a feel for the action here. All right, there we go, kind of getting used to the crossbar lock here. All right, action is good. I don't even know if we have ball bearings here. We might just have washers. Future me double check, given how narrow the whole design is, to be honest. So that's interesting. Of course, we got some jimping here on the blade there, as you can see. And yeah, thumb deployment feels good. That reverse flick, oh man, come on, we can do that with the nail here all day. Sign me up. And of course, we can use the actual crossbar to deploy. as well. Even got a little bit of, you know, listen to the acoustics. Even got some good acoustics going on. Absolutely digging that. Now the ergos, right? Obviously, it is intentional. It's not going to win a prize on one of the most girthiest, you know, handles out there. But for what it's worth, and for the weight, which we're absolutely going to check here in just a moment, right? And how narrow profile, like you're not really adding all that thickness to your pants whenever you put this in your pockets. Yeah, for what it's worth, I mean, we got some, yeah, some decent ergos to work with here. Forward choking here about this much. You can also do a hammer grip here like that. Still accommodating all 4 fingers. I have average size hands, as you guys know. Not too big, not too small, but we can definitely get some work done there. Kind of wish the jimping was a little bit longer, but you got this here. Or obviously you can put your thumb a little bit further forward like that, but that is robust, rock solid, no movement up and down, side to side of any kind. So I also barely feel the pocket clip. I want to say that's obviously good news. I'm going to go with a good solid 9 out of 10 right there. And of course, reversible for lefties. After all, you know, a crossbar lock knife is just as ambidextrous as it gets out there. So you can see here, demonstrating with my non-dexterity left hand. Also feels good to hold. Like this position right here, this feels good to operate. Obviously, when you're, you know, disengaging the knife. The fact that they added some jimping back here, that's attention to detail. Kind of anchors the knife down as you open and close and stuff like that. So that's also very well done there, to say the least. So here we go. Moment of truth, of course. We're going to get the calipers out here. You already know what's going on. Let's see, guys. We are looking at 0.28 thickness on the handle, 0.27 to be exact. And yeah, it's way below the average of 0.5 for half an inch. And that blade thickness is going to be, actually, let's do a reading here while open, 0.07 or 007, James Bond style, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's definitely way thinner than the average 0.12, so definitely very slicey there. No doubt we'll see that in our scientific cutting test here in just a moment. Some quick overall length measurements here. All right, we got, let's see, about 7 inches or so, close to about 18 centimeters or less. We have a 3-inch blade. It kind of feels like 3-inch, maybe a little bit less. Yeah, a little bit less, 2.95-ish, around there. Around a 2.95-ish cutting path as well. So it will be legal in areas where you can carry under 3 inches of blade, so that's good. And then here we go. Handle is going to be a little bit over 4 inches, like 4.15 or so-ish on the handle length. So definitely got all the recipes there for a good EDC knife, without a doubt. Good weight. Obviously, this one's going for a little bit extra sauce, extra thin, extra slickness, right? Extra thin handle, blade, the whole shebang. So weight on this thing, we got titanium. Probably the blade is the heaviest thing on this knife. I'm gonna go with this thing. I'll be surprised if it's over 2 ounces. I'm gonna say 1.5 to 2 ounces. That's where I'm at. Okay, just a tad bit more, 2.3. Not bad at all. I mean, these are titanium scales, none of that FRN nonsense. And yeah, I mean, at least you're still getting a decent weight. Still crazy lightweight. Yeah, EDC nice, 5-6 ounces all day, 4 ounces, 5 ounces. So this is actually really good. And of course, I would zero out, Miguel. What the heck are you doing? What are the odds that I do the same mistake back to back? That's crazy. Anyways, 3 ounces. The button I'm trying to press is this one here. 65 grams. There we go, Miguel. Like, it's a Monday, right? I came from a long weekend and it's like, I forgot how to do my job. 2.3 ounces. Again, really good weight for EDC. Absolutely love to see that. So matter of fact, let me know in the comments, what is the ideal weight for you? Like, what kind of weight knives do you like carrying daily, right? What's kind of the cutoff line for you? The heaviest you'll be willing to carry or the lightest you'll be willing to carry? Let me know. But yeah, we know action's good. It's got good weight, right? Obviously going for that thin factor. I mean, this thing is absolutely insane how thin this is, guys. Holy macaroni. And I can tell you right now, I mean, putting this on a suit, putting this knife in your pants, like, it's not going to add virtually any thickness or girth at all, unlike, you know, some other knives that are obviously way thicker. But, you know, I carry a little bit of everything. So, all right, check it out right here next to the Microtech stitch, just for giggles, right? Because why not, right? Obviously, we like to see all the ends of the spectrum. You can see just the sheer thickness there overall. But yeah, let's do some size comparisons, right? Shall we? Here we got the parallel, of course. We got the stitch. We got the MSI. Both of these rocking Lex Custom Scales. Link down below with install videos if you guys want to check it out, what a transformation it does to the knife. Then links in the description and pinned comments. Again, every other knife you'll see in this video will be linked down below as well. Keeping it in America here, we got the PM2, we got the Para 3. All right, it's actually a little bit shorter than the Para 3, as you guys can see. So that's interesting. And of course, you know, you got my kind of geometry right here. Sheep's foot, aka shark's foot, if you know what I mean, right? Very similar to the 80-20.5. Here's the Kunwu Chad. So just for reference. Also my kind of vibe too. I like monochromatic knives, right, with titanium handles. This one has just a little bit of gold there, and the whole crackle little pattern right there, enough to kind of make it pop. So that's a nice little touch there. I kind of would like to see Vosteed, if you're watching this video, would love to see more of that in knives in the future, because this is absolutely a beautiful formula right there. So if you can bring that to more knives, that would be awesome. Here is the Hedgehog, very similar to the Hedgehog. I want to say obviously Hedgehog is maybe a hair longer, obviously taller blade, taller handle, much thicker. Here's the every EDC knife's dream, the Vombat, because it has so many different modification and customization options. It's insane. So check out the Vosteed Vombat if you haven't already. And last but not least, some of the Vosteeds I've carried the most here recently. We got the Psyop, $2.99, so that's an under 3-inch blade. Then we got the regular size Psyop here with, I always forget the name of the brand for these mic scales, but very cool nonetheless. Awesome knife to EDC, both rocking the button operated liner lock. So again, Vosteed is just killing it. They're just putting banger after banger out there. You guys also echo that in the comments whenever I post a Vosteed video, so I love seeing that. And I mean, they're just killing it, absolutely killing it. Vosteed here with basically all of their models. It's hard to see, you know, what has been a miss recently, because they just don't miss. They absolutely do not miss. But of course, you know, we're going to do our scientific cutting test here, and I'm just excited because this thing, how thin it is, it's going to be a laser beam. Of course, passes the scientific nail test there, as you would expect. We have to go 5x zoom, of course, for the extra scientific points. S35VN, future me put the HRC on the screen for all my HRC aficionados out there. But yeah, look at that, swirls for days. You know, this thing is absolutely going to perform. So full slices, chooks, fing, fam. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm coming up with brand new sound effects, by the way, in case you didn't pick up on that. But yeah, long story short, yeah, this thing can absolutely cut the paper. Not necessarily proving much, but at least for what it's worth. And then we got some cardboard right here, cutting at a diagonal angle for better performance. Right, here we go. Oh man, come on. Piece of cake, not even sweating it. And one last one. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. The knife cuts, and it cuts really well. So who would have thunk? Now, all lame jokes aside, right? Obviously, kudos to Vosteed. They absolutely know how to make an awesome sharp knife out of the box. This one here is no exception. So they do it model after model after model. Still yet to have a dull knife from Vosteed come in a box brand new. Like, that's just not going to happen. That is just not going to be the case. But you guys rate this thing in the comments on a scale from 1 through 10. 10 being the sharpest. Obviously, you guys will let me know. Now, here's a lame joke for you, because, you know, I just make lame jokes like that. But if this knife was playing hide and seek, right, it could probably hide behind this magnet pin here, if you would. Look at that. That is crazy. How crazy thin this thing is. All right, listen, I was actually playing with this thing off camera here for just a quick second before I recorded this part of the video. And I'm fidgeting with this thing left and right. I absolutely can't stop. What a great action, man. Actually, deploys really good. Action is very nice for a thumb stud knife. I can actually get at the other stud here for reverse flick with the nail, which is my preferred way of reverse flicking as compared to using the meat of the middle finger. And it's just very smooth. Like, actually, you know, the whole deployment and everything, once you figure out how much, you know, flick of the wrist it takes and whatnot. Absolutely digging that. Also, find it so epic that, look at this, right? Look at how the blade tucks into the handle. It's like very minimal distance from the blade to the handle. That is how thin they manage to make this knife. It's absolutely bonkers, right? And I'm using fancy words because this knife definitely requires fancy words. But anyways, guys, I definitely want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on the Vosteed Vombat, right? What do you like about it? What do you love about it? Is there anything you dislike about it? Now, of course, the competitor to this, and you know, I don't necessarily see a lot of super narrow knives these days out there. Most knives have a good, decent handle thickness and blade thickness. Again, averages being 0.5 or half an inch for the handle, 0.12 inches for the blade, and this one's way below that. So I can only think of the Benchmade narrows, but that knife I think is, last time I checked, over $400 price wise. Of course, it's made in good old US of A and things like that and such, but you know, $400 for that kind of knife. I think it probably has M390 steel. I'll double check, put it on the screen, but I want to say this one here with S35VN, still getting the titanium, and again, really sharp out of the box, great action, great everything, super much more affordable than that. I think somewhere in the $150-ish range. So I mean, absolutely look into this knife. Look into this knife. If the narrowness speaks to you, it's an absolute no-brainer. Look at that. You can even stand. I was thinking it was so narrow I wouldn't be able to do that, but look at that, guys. Yeah. Again, we'd love to hear your feedback in the comments. And of course, this knife, like I said, and every other knife that you saw in this video will be linked down below. So definitely check out those links. It does help out the channel when you use those links, but that is entirely up to you and at zero extra cost. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one, either this one or this one. Peace.